Hey, welcome to my my Redfin live stream that we do every single Thursday or Friday, maybe even Saturday, depending on when Redfin releases their data. They released it early today, earlier than normal. And so what we're going to do is review the national Redfin market data that was just updated. And this is weekly data that they put out for a rolling 4-week average. And to me, this is the most up-to-date, real-time data available for the housing market for everyday people. So this data you can go and look at anytime you want on Redfin's website. And so we're going to look at the national picture. Then we're also going to look at the local Columbus market where I live and work as a real estate agent and investor. Um, and from a local level, we're going to do that. And then if anybody has a market they want me to analyze at all during the live stream or even after the live stream on the next episode, happy to do that. Just put it in the comments below. At the end, we will look at comments if anybody has any or any questions. And I also have something special today because after we're done with the Columbus market, and actually what we may do is before the Columbus market analysis, we're going to look at a Zillow article, actually. And Zillow just released their national home price forecast. So that's a goodie to stay tuned for because Zillow, unlike Redfin, they actually forecast housing growth, price growth. And I have a map from Resi Club International or Resi Club Analytics that talks about that. So let's dive right into the Redfin national data. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jason Ferrier, and I'm excited you're here. I hope you enjoy it. Do me a favor, subscribe, hit the like button if you get any value out of what you're going to see. All right. So let's jump to the data right now. All right. So this, one of the things I think you'll see here is that interest rates have gone up again. Obviously, everyone knows after paying attention to the housing market, interest rates have gone up. They're now well over 7% for the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate. And the question is, will home prices drop because of that? Because of the lack of buyers out there, right? The lack of people buying homes. But as we also know, inventory has been extremely low over the last couple years. And now we're starting to see an uptick in inventory. So a lot of people are expecting, all right, now that inventory is up more than it was last year and new listings are up, our price is finally coming down. Unfortunately, not. So the title of this Redfin article is Housing Market Update. The cost of buying a home hits a new record as mortgage rates jump, prices rise 5%. All right, so I'll read the article now. The daily average mortgage rates jumped to their highest level since last November after last week's disappointing inflation report. Persistently high home prices are exacerbating affordability challenges for buyers. The average daily mortgage rate this week surpassed 7.4%, the highest level since November, after a hotter than expected inflation report and the Fed's confirmation that interest rate cuts will be delayed. Home prices are rising too. The median U.S. home sale price increased 5% from a year earlier during the 4 weeks ending April 14, bringing it to $380,250, just $3,000 shy of June of 22's all-time high. The combination of high mortgage rates and prices have brought home buyers' median monthly housing payment to a record $2,775, up 11% year over year. Yep, no doubt. Home prices and home payments, mortgage payments are high. They are. So real quick, I just left. Before I was here, I left an appointment where I was meeting with a seller who wanted to sell their home that they grew up in, basically, close to me in in Licking County, Ohio. And we talked about the market for a second, and they asked me some data points or opinions about the market. And I told them about the average or the median monthly mortgage payment in the US right now being over $2,700. And they couldn't believe it. They were like, wow, when my parents bought this house, and it was a little tiny house, maybe like 700 square feet. They said, we bought this house in 1960, and they said but their payments were like $300 a month. So they couldn't believe and comprehend that the housing payments right now are $2,700 a month. Yeah, so it's definitely high. There's no doubt. The question is how is that going to affect the market, right? And how is it affecting the market? All right, so let's get back to the article. All right, so there are signals that buyers are out there touring homes despite rising rates. Mortgage purchase applications are up 5% week over week, and Redfin's home buyer demand index, a measure of requests for tours and other buying services from Redfin agents, is near its highest level in 7 months. Chen Zhao, Redfin's economic research lead, said some house hunters are hoping to buy now because they're concerned rates could rise more, and others have grown accustomed to elevated rates and push down their home price budget accordingly. Home sales are slower than usual, but there are still people buying and selling because if not now, when? Said Connie Doral, a Redfin premier agent in Dallas. I've had a few prospective buyers touring homes for the last several years since mortgage rates started going up, and they wish they would have bought last year because prices and rates are even higher now. My advice to them: if you can afford to find a house you love, buy now. There's no guarantee that rates will come down soon. Interesting. Yeah, this narrative has definitely changed from Redfin. So Redfin has said before, like, there's no guarantee prices are going to come down. So waiting for prices to crash is a bad idea. Now they're saying there's no guarantee rates are going to come down, right? So I would say no guarantee rates or prices are going to come down. We just don't have a guarantee of any of that, right? So um, a lot of people are waiting on a housing market crash. A lot of people are waiting on an interest rate crash, but it's almost like this. I think it's similar in the fact that the market doesn't need an interest rate crash right now because home buyers are still buying, prices are still going up, and the economy at this point seems like it's just chugging along. Um, and people can debate that, but the Fed is the one that makes these decisions, and they're saying, okay, well, the economy's doing well, so rates, we're not going to, drop interest rates right now. And at the same time, you have the thing in the housing market where um, the crash is not happening because there's still a lack of inventory. And what I mean by inventory, I mean affordable inventory. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about $1 million homes in $500,000 markets. And I'm not talking about second vacation homes or, even new homes that are maybe overpriced or extravagant when it comes to the marketplace. So if the median price in your area is 500 grand and there's $1 million homes, that doesn't help affordability and it doesn't help inventory. And I think a lot of people are getting frustrated that inventory is not coming down, or I'm sorry, prices are not coming down because affordable inventory is not going up. And I'm not hearing that. So if you see, do me a favor, if you're watching this now or later and you have homes in your area that are affordable, and you know what affordable home is in your area, whatever that is. If you see a lot of those on the market right now for sale, please comment below and let me know where you are and if that's happening, because I don't see it where I live in Central Ohio. I mean, there are less affordable homes right now than there ever have been. And the affordable homes that are available need a ton of work, like 100 grand in work. So for instance, the person I met with today, they want to sell their home. It is an affordable home. It would be on the market as an affordable home. Problem is it needs 100K in work. So as a first-time home buyer, most people do not want to venture into that area. They want a move-in ready home. Those homes are like nowhere to be found. So the affordable home, dearth of listings is still there. I think that's why prices continue to go up. Anyway, let's go to the data here. We'll look at the daily fixed mortgage rates first. We all know they're high, 7.41% as of April 17th. Wow. Up from 7% 1 month earlier, highest level since November of 2023, up from 6.61% last year. They do the weekly average mortgage rate. I'm not going to pay attention to that. Mortgage purchase applications increased 5% from a week earlier, down 10% year over year. So they have gone up from a week earlier, which means more people are applying for mortgages, but this is spring. And like here in Ohio, it's finally nice outside consistently. The birds are out, the bees are out, all that jazz. So I think overall, people are, starting to, come out of the house and their places, and they're wanting to look at homes, and maybe they're putting more mortgage applications in. So I'm not really sure if, that's an increase of demand or not. Redfin Home Buyer Demand Index, though, this is Redfin's specialized home buyer demand index. It's up 8% from a month earlier, but down 11% year over year. That year over year number, I think, is decreasing. So it's starting to level off somewhat. And people are still buying homes. There are. I mean, I have clients. I'm a realtor and an investor. I have people buying homes. I have people selling homes. I have new buyers, old buyers, right? People downsizing, upsizing, all that jazz. Touring activity up 33% from the start of the year. At this time last year, it was up 23% from the start of the year. I guess it's up 10% year over year. That's how I look at it. Google searches for home unchanged from a month earlier, down 17% from a year earlier. So people aren't looking for homes more on Google, but they're touring them more than they were last year, I guess. And now it looks like they are applying for mortgages more than they were last week. All right, key housing market data. This is from the top 400 US metros, not all the metros, just the top 400 US metros. Median sale price, 380,250, up 4.7% year over year. If you round, it's up 5%. They like to round up. It's 5%. So yeah, home prices aren't crashing, at least not right now nationally. Now, every market's different. There's probably a market near you that, has a lot of inventory, or there's a state maybe here and there that has a lot of inventory. And actually, we're going to look at that in a second. Also, as far as inventory nationally, I have a great map to show you. But yeah, prices aren't crashing. Median asking price, 413,225, up 6.4% year over year. Biggest increase since October of 2022, an all-time high. So I'm wondering, well, we'll see the chart here in a second, but are they saying that in 2022 it was an all-time high, or now it's an all-time high? I don't know. Or maybe the increase is an all-time high. I guess we'll find out in a minute. Median monthly mortgage payment, $2,775 at a 6.88%. So what did they do? They took, they're using the weekly average, right? But look at the mortgage rate right now. Look at the rate, 7.41% as of April 17th. So this is still lagging, this data right here, right? I mean, if you put this in at the new mortgage rate, it's going to be higher than $2,700. I mean, we're on our way to $3,000 median monthly mortgage payments. And again, median is you take all the mortgage payments in the United States and you tap the middle. That middle is where the median is. So it's not average, it's median. Up 10.6%. That's just nuts, right? All-time high. Look at that. All-time high. Scary. Pending sales, 86,000 units, down 2.3%. So something I noticed here with pending sales is that pending sales are actually, it looks like the decrease year over year is narrowing. It looks like there's a smaller gap year over year with the pending sales. New listings, 93,000 new listings in the last 4 weeks, up 10% year over year. Thank goodness we need more new listings. There's no doubt about it. Active listings, 832,000 active listings, 9.6% year over year increase in new listings. I've heard some folks online on YouTube that I watch frequently that talk about the fact that if we hit 900,000 units, we will have a massive price drop. That's when price drops start. They're like, well, at first I think they said 800,000 units. Now we have 800,000. Prices aren't dropping. So now they're like, if we have 900,000 units, prices will drop. They're looking at that because they see what happened last year when inventory went up, then prices came down. But the thing they're missing is buyer and consumer behavior, I think. I mean, people are used to 7% rates right now. Last year, when rates shot up through the roof quickly, I think that scared a lot of people, and then they stopped buying, prices softened nationally. But this year, people are already used to 7% rates. So I'm not sure that 800,000 units is going to do it, because prices still aren't down. Months of supply, 3.3 months of supply. That's a 0.4%, I'm sorry, 0.4 points over last year. And we need 4 to 5 months of supply to consider it a balanced market. So we're close to a balanced market right now. But does it feel balanced? I mean, does the market feel balanced at all right now? Because I would argue that it doesn't feel balanced, at least not where I am, and not what I see, from other people in other markets, is that it doesn't feel balanced. So it's not even close to balanced, in my opinion. Share of homes off the market in 2 weeks, 42.6%. This is down from 44%. I think this is the first time I've seen it down in a while, year over year compared to up. Usually it feels like it keeps going up. Like how many, what percentage of homes out there that are listed are off the market in 2 weeks or less. So homes may be sitting a little longer. That'll help prices, no doubt. Median days on market, 35. This is down 1 day. You don't want to see that if you're waiting for a crash, because less days on market overall, generally speaking, means, homeowners or home sellers aren't having to cut their prices. Share of homes sold above list price, 29.2%, essentially unchanged. That means almost 30% of homes that are sold are actually sold above list price. Share of homes with a price drop, 5.9%. That's up 1.6 points. So people look at that and think, well, this keeps going up and this is high, 5.9%. So why aren't prices coming down? It's because most people, the median house price out there, if you look at that median house price, those homes are scarce. It's the homes that are priced way above the median. And I'm talking about my market. And I'm assuming this is happening in a lot of other markets to the US, where homes priced way over the median are, they're rotting on the market, if you will. They're not, they are not flying off the shelf. So because homes are not, moving, and they're maybe higher priced, those sellers are dropping their price more so than people who put a home on the market at the median and it's in a good area and it sells immediately. So because of that, I think that people look at the price drops and they get confused about it. And that's my opinion about that. Now, the other thing is, when you look at the median asking price, people will say median asking price leads median sale price. Incorrect. Because if there are more homes on the market that are higher priced, the median sale price, if homes aren't selling because there's no pending sales are still down, then the ones that do sell, generally speaking, they probably under the median even. It's going to keep, there's obviously a difference there between the median asking price and the median selling price. So I wouldn't assume that the median asking price is definitely going to lead median sale price, just like price drops may not lead the median sale price. All right, metro level highlights. So this is where Redfin looks at the metro data for the top 50 most populous US metros. And a lot of these folks are repeat offenders. Median sale price, Anaheim, California, 24.8% increase year over year. Providence, Rhode Island, 14%. Nassau County, New York, 14%. West Palm Beach, Florida, 13.5%. And New Brunswick, New Jersey, 13.1%. Declined. Look at this. This is very important. Very, very important. Median sale price for the last 4 weeks, according to Redfin, declined in just one metro out of the top 50 biggest metros in the United States. And that was San Antonio. And it was only 1%. You're not talking like 50%, right? Pending sales. San Jose, 25.6% increase. San Francisco, 11%. Oakland, 7%. Columbus, Ohio, hey, that's us, 6.7% increase in pending sales. Seattle, 6.4% increase in pending sales. Then you've got the places where pending sales are dropping the most. Nassau County, New York, 14.9% drop, 13.6% drop in Atlanta, Houston, 11.6% drop, Riverside, 10% drop, Fort Lauderdale, 10% drop. It increased in 14 of the 50 metros, pending sales. All right. New listings. San Jose up 46%. Sacramento up 27%. Phoenix, 27%. Jacksonville up 27%. And Dallas up 22% in new listings. Wow. Look at San Jose, 46% in new listings. Man, I'd love to know like what's happening there on the street. Like what's happening with houses. Like, I mean, I know the prices are up there too. So more inventory, more pending sales. So sales, are starting to pick up and prices are up too. So doesn't surprise me though, because if there's more inventory to choose from, buyers, buy more property, you would think prices would soften, but maybe not. Where are new listings dropping the most? Newark, New Jersey, Providence, Rhode Island, Milwaukee, Chicago, and Detroit. That's where new listings are down the most. Declined in 9 of the 50 metros. All right. So here are the charts that we like to go through. Median sale price. They don't call it out here in the little graph, but we're at $380,000, $3,000 away from the record high. Just $3,000 away from the record high. And this, I feel bad for people waiting to buy a house if it doesn't turn out the way they want it to. I'm not saying it won't. Like they could be waiting and then score a great deal, but I feel bad for them if they are just waiting because they think it's going to crash and then it just keeps going up, right? Or if it doesn't crash, but it goes down like 1% year over year. I mean, if this chart, let's be honest, right? If this chart went down 1% year over year, you would see like headlines across YouTube probably, and the media saying home prices dropped year over year. Look at this, and like madness. Even though it's only 1% drop, people will still freak out. So I guess my point is like, as it keeps going up year over year and it keeps going, even if you have a drop in median sale price, but it's gone up, over 40% in the last 4 years. So what if it goes down a few percentage points? Is that a crash? No. But if you wait just at, if you can time the bottom, which is very hard to do, obviously, but if you can time the bottom, then yeah, maybe you can score a deal if they happen to go down a few percentage points. But right now, they continue to go up. Should be interesting to see what happens. Median asking price up 6.4% year over year. This is just right up through the stars. People keep asking more and more for their home. Yeah, I've skipped a stat here that is important. Yeah, I did. 99, but I have to go back here. 99.2% average sale to list price ratio. So that means that when you look at this median asking price, the houses that are selling anyway, not just asking, but actually closing and selling, sellers are getting near what they're asking, 99.2% of the asking price. And 29%, almost 30% of homes are selling above list price. So if 99.2% of homes that are selling, if the homes are selling at 99.2% of the asking price, then like to see discounts there, you would see a lower number, I would think. But because you're not, it's 99.2%, not a whole lot of discounting going on. I can tell you that's true because I help buyers and sellers all the time. And I'm an investor, so I'm out there making offers and purchasing properties and all that jazz. And people are getting what they want for houses. I mean, it used to be where somebody would name a price and you go in at 20% under and people would think about it. Now they're like, no, they don't even counter. There's no, unless the house is like destroyed or they know it's overpriced already. So wild times, folks. Wild times. Home buyer housing payments through the roof. Unreal, right? You think this would go down at some point, but it's not. It's probably going to go up again next week because we're only at 6.88%. Pending sales down 2% year over year, but you can see it's not going down, but it's not skyrocketing up. New listings of homes. Now, this is definitely going up, right? We see this, headed up. It's more than it was last year, but it's still less than 2022 and 2021, which is kind of scary. It still needs to be a lot more. We need a lot more new listings in this. I mean, if at this pace, if interest rates, I think, just drop below 7%, we're going to be in trouble again with inventory. Not that we we're already in trouble, but it'll get much worse with inventory if if rates drop below 7%. I think that 7% number is like the magical number. I think it is. I know psychologically, I think it is, both with the people I talk to anyway. All right, active listings of homes for sale. I don't know why they don't put this in the upper charts or the upper graphs, but it's level, right? It's not shooting up. So this is a good indication that if active listings aren't going this way up, they're kind of leveled off. It means the inventory that's coming on the market is being purchased. Even though, you do see more new listings, you're not seeing it stick around because they're being purchased. And that's why months of supply isn't going up either. 3.3 months of supply. So it did tick up, but it's not, it's by no means going, at a trajectory this way over the last few weeks. 0.4 year over year increase. We just need more months of supply. 43% of pending sales under contract within 2 weeks. So this number is less than 2023, and less than the other 2 years before that. But it's you would want this to go down if you were hoping for a crash. Homes sold in a median of 35 days. Looks like it's following last year exactly. It's almost like last year. It's following the same trajectory as it has the previous years, where during spring, homes are selling faster, then they start selling slower, or they slow down in the wintertime, no doubt. 29% of homes sold above final list price. So we're above last year, right? Barely, but we are. Homes are selling, more homes are selling above the final list price than last year. Obviously less than the years before. I mean, look at 2022. We were at 50% at this time. 50% of homes were selling above final list price. Nuts. 5.9% of listings have price drops. It's just going this way, right? Up. And you've got a big gap between 2023 and 2024. You should have a big gap there. But again, just because you see a lot of price drops doesn't mean the prices are going to come down. A lot of these houses are homes that were too high already and maybe needed a lot of work or priced over the median. Average homes sold for 99.2% of final list price. More than last year. So homes are selling overall. I would say sellers are getting overall 99.2% of what they're asking. And compared to last year, that's more. Now, nothing like it was back in 2022 when that number was 102%, right? So the average home was selling for 102% of final list price. Wow. Redfin home buyer demand index down 11% year over year. This little stat they have, I don't know how much, stock I put into it, but it seems like demand's slowly starting to come up. It's definitely not going down like the trajectory. I mean, it's like this, but overall, if you were to draw a trend line, right, it's not going down. It's kind of going up, which it should this time of year. But I think a lot of people look at this. I know there's a particular channel that looks at the demand index all the time and talks about how, the prices are going to crash now because demand's in the toilet, but prices haven't crashed yet. So you would want this to be straight down, I would think, for a crash. Not happening right now. Anyway, that wraps up their graphs, I guess. But let's look for a second at two other things nationally, because this is pretty telling. All right, so this is the regional home price shift between March of you know what? We're going to do the inventory first. My bad. All right, we're going to do this one first. So this is according to, I believe, Realtor.com data. Yeah, this is Realtor.com data that Resi Club Analytics puts together. Resi Club is an awesome data analytics company. They have tons of free information. I think this chart, this map is free, I believe. They have a paid service that's good too, but I encourage you to check them out. They have data no one else does, and they present it in ways no one else does either. So this is a change in active housing inventory for sale and a shift between March of 2023 and March of 2024. So year over year, where has inventory gone? What percentage of active residential inventory, how much has it gone up or down? So obviously the states in blue, darker green, whatever, have more inventory growth. States in the brown have gone down, actually. Let me just make sure that you can see this. Let's do this. There we do. Let's do that. All right. So, I mean, look at this. You've got really the one that stands out, Nevada down 26% in inventory. Illinois down 5% in inventory. Got New York down 4.3%. Some other ones, you know, actually there's only a couple more. New Jersey down just a little bit in inventory, but everybody else is up. Look at Florida. Look at that. Up 57% in inventory year over year. Wow. That's definitely going to change prices there. There's no doubt, you'd think, right? And that's what we're going to look at next. 11% in Ohio. That's where I am. So in Ohio, year over year, overall in the state, according to Realtor.com data, we have 11% more inventory than we did last year in March. California up 11%. Texas up 31% in active listings. Man. So you can come to Resi Club, take a look at this chart, look at your state, and it'll tell you how much inventory you have year over year. I thought the chart was pretty cool and telling. So definitely more inventory, and we need that. We need more, right? We need more. All right, now let's look at prices. This is a price forecast. So we already talked about where prices are going up and down according to Redfin, and then we just looked at inventory. But this is a price forecast. So this isn't what's happened. This is what Zillow, and this data is from Zillow, this is what they think will happen. And this is again from Resi Club Analytics. And you can go to Resi Club and look at this data yourself. But this shows you how much they should go up or down year over year. And overall, Zillow thinks prices will go up between now and March of 2025 by 1.5% overall. Now, they started the year down and then have revised it a few times like they always do, which is, you know, how data works. And now they're up 1.5%. That's where they think they'll land. So red is down and blue is up. So let's look at a few that are down. Lake Charles, Louisiana, they think prices will decrease 6.6%. That's the forecast. Down 6.6% by this time next year. Look at a couple other ones. Not a lot of reds out there. Look at Johnstown, Pennsylvania, down 7%, they think. That's their forecast. That's what they think home prices will do. Got some other ones that are a little, you know, I would call it, let's go down here to the Louisiana. New Orleans, down 4.2%. Santa Rosa, California, down 2.3%. By the way, that's a beautiful area. If you've ever been to Santa Rosa, it's a really, really nice area of the country. Bismarck, go up to down North Dakota, 1.6% decrease in home prices according to Zillow. That's their forecast. That's what they're predicting. There's another one over here in the Midwest. Lafayette, West Lafayette, Indiana, down 4.1%. What I thought was really interesting, though, was that look at Florida. Let me zoom in here. Oops. Look at Florida. Look at this. So if we go back to this map of inventory and you look at inventory, they're saying inventory has gone up 57% year over year, according to Realtor.com data. Now, look at the prices, where they think they'll go, where Zillow thinks prices will go. I mean, none of these are in negative territory. They're all positive. So, Avon Park, Florida, they think it'll go up 5%. Naples up 3.6%. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, 2.9% increase. So prices, according to Zillow in Florida, will keep going up at this time anyway. I wonder if inventory continues to explode in Florida. Will that change the trajectory? I don't know. If you're in Florida, comment below. I'd love to know what's happening in Florida. If you're seeing affordable homes be listed. I did read an article that it was because of hurricane properties that are now being rehabbed and now available on the market. I have no idea if that's true. I did read that, but I don't live there, so I can't confirm it. All right. Let's look at a few more here. And then we'll do Columbus for the Redfin data. Look at Flagstaff. Did I say this one? 5.3% increase year over year. San Diego, 3.3% increase year over year. The good news is that nobody's exceeding 7%. You can see that 7% maxes out the score. So the days of like 15% increases are gone, which is nice. But they're still going up, right? They're still increasing and they're not crashing. And Zillow doesn't think they're going to crash. So I'll probably do a whole video on this one because it's kind of interesting. I really like their forecast and then to track and see how they did. Okay, let's go back to the Redfin data for the metros. So Redfin puts out the national perspective. We already reviewed that. Now Redfin also puts out weekly housing market data for metros and counties. You can come to Redfin, the data center, anytime you want and grab this information. So I've selected Columbus, Ohio, because that's where we are. And again, this to me is the most up-to-date information you can get on the housing market. It does differ between this and the MLS. There's some difference, but it's not a huge difference. All right, let's start with active listings. Let's do new listings first. Let's probably reset my metro here. It did. It reset my metro. So you can select whatever metro you want on the right-hand side here, or you can even select the county level if you want, which is kind of cool. All right, let's look at we have active. I'm doing new listings. All right, new listings for Columbus, down 7% year over year. Not what you want to see. Last week, we were up 10% year over year. Now, Columbus, we're down 7% year over year. So Central Ohio, the Columbus metro area, we are tracking to do worse right now with new listings than we did last year. So because you guys are smart, you will figure this out. If new listings are dropping, unless sales tank and pending sales tank, that means prices will continue to go up. And that's just not good, especially for this market. A lot of people who grew up in Central Ohio are already priced out of the market. They're just priced out. A lot of that has to do with Intel and the Intel fury, right? Whether it be perceived or not, with the Intel plant being built about 10 minutes from where we are today, where I'm sitting right now, there's a huge amount of demand that's coming, no doubt. But I think a lot of people just mentally think there's a lot of demand. So they're either not selling their home because they think it'll just keep going up in value, which it probably will, or they can't find anything to buy because inventory is just shot. And then you got investors purchasing houses, right? Which happens. Yeah, so that's no good. Now let's look at active listings. Up 3.81% year over year. A startling, a shocking, an unhinged 3 point. It doesn't even really matter what the point is. 3% more, 4% doesn't really matter. Active listings more than we did last year. Nothing, just nothing. No sign of a upward trajectory of doom whatsoever in Columbus. It's sad. We really need more housing. All right, let's look at the median sale price, which isn't going to be good either, probably. Nope. $331,000. We are $10,000 shy of a record high in Columbus right now. So this is just whoop, whoop, up, 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 up. And it, based on what I've seen from clients and sellers, buyers, other investors, doesn't seem like this is changing anytime soon. I would say, I mean, I think Zillow have it. Zillow has us in Columbus. They predict, Zillow does, back to this map, 3% increase in median price or value, I suppose. But this chart is showing an increase of 5%. And I think 5% is like the just start of where we'll end up for the year. I think we'll end up at least up 5% in Columbus. My call was actually 3 to 5% increase, but it doesn't seem like we're going to touch, negative numbers. I wouldn't be surprised if this number is 10% at the end of the year. Let's hope not. But it's, again, there's no inventory and there's a big demand. All right. Pending sales. Let's do that. Up 2.9%. It started to drop a little bit. It was going up, but now pending sales are dropping slightly year over year. I mean, there's no inventory, so I'm not surprised at this. If you're in the business in Columbus, if you're in the real estate business, you're a title agent, a home inspector, whatever, if you're in the mortgage business, you're a realtor, you're no doubt you feel it because pending sales aren't really increasing that much. So we're suffering when it comes to transactions. And that's how most realtors are paid. Year over year, down 2.2% in the number of homes sold. It is going up, though. There's no doubt the trajectory over the last few weeks is going up. So, but the pending sales aren't, and new listings aren't. And so I would look for this to probably go, level off and maybe go down again. Unfortunately, there's just no inventory. It is what it is. All right, let's look at months of supply. Yeah. 9.3 weeks of supply. Last update, it was 9.3 weeks of supply. Before that, it was 9.4 weeks of supply. So this is like dropped, and it's more than it was last year. But I went on the MLS this morning just to check it and look and kind of get an overview of the data. And there's no doubt that there are price drops and homes on the market that have been on the market like even over a year, but they're junk houses. I mean, they're houses in flood zones, or they're in neighborhoods that people don't want to buy. They sit against railroad tracks, or they need it, or they have flood damage, or they have structural damage, and they need like $100,000 in work, $200,000 in work, and they're not livable. And so I see those houses sitting still comparatively to homes that are ready to roll. Those are flying off the shelf. Yep. So I wish the situation was better here in Columbus for weeks of supply or months of supply, if we want to look at it, but it's not. It's not at all. Let's look at price drops. Yeah, see, I'm not surprised. Price drops are, they're up 0.7% year over year in the number of price drops, 4.1% of active listings with price drops. And this isn't going down. I guess it's level. But when I look at the ones with price drops, again, just homes that people don't want. So I'm curious what you think of this. You look at these prices, you look at the prices nationally and wonder, are prices ever going to come down? They may not. This may be the new normal. Average sale to price list ratio. Let's look at that in Columbus. Yeah, it's up. It's down. It's down compared to other years, but it's going up, right? It's spring. That makes sense. But we're over 100% Columbus. 1.001%, which is over 100%. So we're over 100%. The average sale to list price ratio is over 100% in Columbus. So we're obviously higher than nationally, but only by 1% or so. Not that much of a deal. Not a big deal. Except people are getting what they're asking. That's not shocking because there's no inventory. You can see that, and prices keep going up. Yeah. So, man, it's a weird time in the housing market. I think the title on my thumbnail was meltdown, because it is. It's like a meltdown. People are melting down over this. It's like throwing people for a loop. I've got friends, family, investors, even clients that are waiting for a housing market crash. And I'm not telling them it's not coming. I'm just saying, well, it doesn't show that it's coming soon, like this year. And so if you want to wait, you can. But there are a lot of other ways to find houses, folks. Like, there are so many other ways to find houses than the traditional methods. Not Zillow, not the MLS, not a realtor. And so I'm putting a video together right now. I spent a lot of time on it this week showing people how to find a house that's off market. And there's no witchcraft involved, there's no trickery involved. It's really just hard work and basics. So I'm excited to put that video out, and I think it can be valuable because it's how I find homes. And I did this one before I was even a realtor. And I didn't invent the method or the style. I just kind of put my own tweak on it, but it works. So, all right, let's see if anybody has any comments. Oh, hey, look at this. Somebody does. Coors Light 23. What's up, Coors Light? I'm seeing approximately 8% of active listings have price drops in San Jose. That doesn't seem terribly high. No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. Do you know what price points those are in at all? Is there any way to know that? I don't know if you can see that information or not. If not, that's okay. But I can tell you, like, when I looked at it this morning, there were and this gives you an idea, there were like 900 listings under the median price. Of those 900, a good 250 had some type of price drop. So even the median priced homes did have price drops. But when I looked at those home addresses and the days on market, you could tell there was something wrong with the house and it was sitting. So I think maybe the difference between now and back during the great financial crisis, when home prices crashed and we had tons of foreclosures, there's a lot of differences. But one of them is that, what I saw anyway, was that good homes were being foreclosed on in like good neighborhoods, homes that would typically sell fast. And now homes that typically sell fast are selling fast. At least that's what I see. But no, it doesn't seem terribly high. It's only 8% of active listings. But yeah, thanks for the data. That definitely helps. So, all right, that is my live. Thanks for watching. I'll do this again next week, and appreciate your time. If you have any metros you want me to analyze, please drop them below in the comments, and I'll get to them on the next live. And then I am going to put this video out talking about how to find a deal off market, and you don't need access to the MLS. Do not listen to that. That is crazy. I'm not saying you shouldn't have access to the MLS. Personally, I don't care if the public had access to the MLS. But if you really want to find an opportunity, either to live in or to buy as an investment property, there are ways to find deals off market, not using a realtor, not using the MLS, and not acting like a traditional buyer, not acting like, somebody like a sheep that does what everybody else does, where you just wait for Zillow or you wait for listings to come in, and then you lament because there's nothing out there. Ignore all that stuff. Just ignore it and go out and find your own opportunity. And so this video I'm going to show you soon, I think you'll like it. And it's helped me buy properties, so I think it'll help you. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day. See you on the next Redfin update.